the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine, from a place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome, but nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, I'm back from Mate Jones from Edinburgh. So before we get into the show tonight, guys and girls, if you like what you see, then please smash the like. It does help the channel up the search results, so smash those likes. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe. Free to do so, helps the channel grow, and the bell notification will tell you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. Also, if you want to make a donation to the channel, there's a link in the chat. Just click on the link and follow the instructions. Thank you very much indeed. Got a comment. Sefton's in the house. Good evening to you, Sefton. I hope you're well. So yeah, guys. So yes, as you well know, I've had a few days in Edinburgh. Well, Wednesday and Thursday, in fact. And got back home at about 10:20 last night, so not too bad at all. And yeah, had a thoroughly good time. If you've never been to Edinburgh, then I highly recommend you check it out. You know, and obviously I went for a tour where my dad was from. He was from Leith, which is in Edinburgh. So yeah, and so I had a tour around there as well, where my dad was brought up from. And also, I couldn't quite go in to take any footage because I was on the bus. But I went past the Easter Road Stadium of Hibernian, where again, my father, he was a youth team player there. But unfortunately, injury cut his career very, very short. So Sefton says nearly kick off tomorrow. Yeah, 12:30 Sefton, BT Sport. Gary says good evening, Tony and Mr. Sefton. Good evening to you, Gary. I hope you're well. Troll says hi, Tony. Hi to you, Trolls. Hope you're doing okay. Jake says good timing, Tony. I just got home. Well, fantastic, mate. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And each other's talking to everybody else. So yeah, so today Eddie Howe gave his weekly press conference, as he always does, pre-match, before the game, ahead of tomorrow. And so we'll go through the talking points of what Eddie Howe's gone through in his press conference, and we'll also have a little look towards the Etihad Stadium tomorrow. And Ian's just, hi, Tony. Hi, Ian. I hope you're well, mate. I did give you a wave past on the train at Berwick, but I don't know if you saw me or not. Mason says, I had a walk around Easter Road when I was up there before Christmas. Yeah, it's not a bad ground, is it? And Troll says, so we are linked with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, again, I can't see us taking Calvert-Lewin, can you? I mean, it's just, I'm not being funny. If we want to move to the next level and we want to win trophies, then I'm sorry, Calvert-Lewin is not the player. He is not the player to come to Newcastle, so he ain't going to get us to that next level. So I would just take that with a pinch of salt. So yeah, so yes, as I was saying, Eddie Howe done his weekly press conference ahead of the trip to the Etihad Stadium to Man City. So he was asked about Bruno Guimaraes. who was substituting the Carabao Cup final after receiving treatment. And Eddie went on to say Bruno is fine. I think he was in a bit of short-term pain, but nothing that has impacted his training this week. So he's pretty much saying he's fine there. And off the top of his head, there are no other injuries. So all in all, Bruno looks like he's fit to play against City tomorrow, which is absolutely fantastic, which is what we wanted. He was then asked on facing Man City, who have won the last 13 Premier League fixtures against us at the Etihad. He says, you do have to be your best against Man City. It's difficult running games for us when you go against Liverpool, Man United, Man City, but I think the first two games, although we haven't got the results we wanted, the performances have been strong. So, hinting when we played Liverpool, 10 men in Newcastle, we were much better than that 11 men of Liverpool. He says there's loads of different ways you can approach a game like Man City. We went one way and it was really brave approach and it was very front foot and it made a brilliant game between two top teams. He said, don't think our principles ever change. We're going to need to be very good defensively and very good with the ball. We're going to need to pose a threat in the game and I believe we can do that. Certainly, we'll need to get our foundation strong. So again, we've got the best defence in the Premier League, which is absolutely fantastic. And we'll have to beat our best tomorrow because Man City are on fire at the moment. So it all turns out it could be an entertaining game tomorrow. And let's see if it is an entertaining game. It'll be absolutely fantastic, I'm sure. And before I go into any more on Eddie Howe, I'll just nip into some comments because I've come in. Trolls says hit the like button. Thank you very much, Trolls. Lee says, evening Tony, everyone else sound like you had a great time in Edinburgh. Last time I was there was when Wales was in Scotland playing Wales in the rugby. Yeah, had a fantastic time, mate. Absolutely brilliant. And we'll be going back. Ian says, I waved when the train went by, Tony. Thank you very much indeed, mate. He says, you enjoy being in God's country then, lol. Yeah, I've been there many a time, to be fair, and I've been up there quite a few times before, so it's my dad's birthplace. So Joel says, come on, Ian. You can call it waving, but joking, of course. Yeah. So then Eddie was asked, following Sunday's Carabao Cup final defeat against Man United at Wembley, he says, we were bruised on Sunday and Monday, but very quickly for me, it turned to Man City and returned to work on Monday afternoon. The passion and motivation I didn't feel could increase within me but I think it has. We experienced a great occasion to see the Newcastle supporters, the colours, visions, memories, and all that I've taken from that. The passion and love they showed to the team in all moments will stay with me, and I think I want to return that and give them future successes, which burn deep inside of me. So basically, Eddie Howe says all the memories of seeing the fans there, the atmosphere and everything, that will live with him forever. And he wants to make sure next time we go back there, we win a trophy. He's then asked on the aims for remaining 15 Premier League games of this season. He says in the league, we've stalled a little bit in the sense we've missed a couple of games. Haven't won the games that we would have wanted to, so we need to reignite that. The cup final, as much as we didn't want it to be, was a big distraction for us. Not so much for myself because I'm preparing for the game, but all of them are very similar processes for the players. Every time they went outside the door, I'm sure it hit them. That's gone now. We're back to the league form and we want to attack everything and finish as high as we can. So again, I did say I had this feeling that the cup was causing a distraction in the final. Now it's out the way. Let's just get back into the groove and get back into the winning ways we were in the Premier League. But the thing is, I still say the players will learn from this because the next time we get to a cup final, they'll make sure it doesn't cause a distraction. And Eddie Howe make sure they won't allow that either. And let's see how high we can finish. He's then asked on Anthony Gordon, who's after a first start since arriving from Everton. He says he's got a big part to play, He's been working hard in the background in between these games. When he came to us, he was a little short of high-end fitness. We've done that work with him. He looked really good, physically very strong. I'm really excited about what he can do in the second half of the season. So again, this is what I was saying about Anthony Gordon. Under Lampard, Lampard is not a manager. He is not a great coach. And that is highly proved because Anthony Gordon was short of high-end fitness. But now, hopefully, he's getting that now, and hopefully he will fire. I mean, we'll look forward to seeing what Flash Gordon can do. On the role of Alexander Isak, who could play during the remainder of the season after missing a large majority through the injury, says he's a player that's almost a new signing for us because of that injury he picked up. We've missed him in the early part of the season. Now he's come back. He's fit, improving with more training sessions and understanding of what I want from him. He's building his fitness levels as well. Still probably not as optimum, but he's getting close to. I love Alex as a lad and as a player. I think he's got so much to give us, and I think he'll be the different dimension, add a different dimension to our team. So again, he's saying Isak's like a new signing. He's getting there. His fitness levels are still not its absolute best, but they're getting there. And obviously it sounds like the lad. He's a lovely lad as well in the dressing room. And let's hope, because we really need Alexander Isak firing, because Callum Wilson ain't firing at the moment, so Isak needs to fire. He was also asked about Ryan Fraser. Is it right that he's in the under-21s? And he said yes, he's gone to train with the under-23s. He says, because I only want the players in the squad that are willing to be at the club. So he's hinting that Ryan Fraser, in other words, doesn't care now and isn't worried about the club football at the moment. So he's been banished to the under-21s. Asked if this spells the end of him. He says, we'll see what happens in the summer. He says, but yes, it could be, but it all depends. So again, it means if he comes back into the fold and knuckles down, then yes, he may have a future. But I think he's out the door in the summer, in all honesty. Right, let's go into the chat and see what's being said there. Mag Debate says, knee match for me tomorrow. I've got lurgy face, red droopy eyes. Oh no way, mate. Sorry to hear that, Mag, but I hope you're going to watch it on TV and cheer the lads on from your sofa or bed, wherever you're going to have to be. Sefton says, before I get off to work, enjoy the show and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. This helps the show grow and tells you when the next show is live. Thank you very much indeed, Sefton. Have a great night at work, mate. At least you can watch the game tomorrow because it's a 12:30 kick-off. Ian says, I was born there, Edinburgh. Yeah, great place, isn't it? Troll says, nice seeing now. Been to Scotland, want to go someday. You want to go, Trolls? Because honestly, it's brilliant, mate. We play way too much sideways at the back, and our front players need to move more without the ball into the right position. Yeah, I've thought that as well. And I think Eddie Howe will have that sorted out. Ian says, you should. Nice place and friendly people, absolutely. Troll says, only hear good things about Scotland except Glasgow kiss. Yeah, you don't want a Glasgow kiss, mate, that's for sure. It's just like a Geordie kiss. Lee says, what do you think the cup final should be played after the end of the season? To me, I mean, it's one of those, it's a debate, isn't it? It's like, it's played in February. But even if it was at the end of the season, would that still be on their minds that there's a cup final coming up? So that's... Look, it is... I can see what you're saying about that one. The FA Cup's played at the end of the season, so that's probably why they don't play the League Cup towards the end, because if, say, for instance, we're playing Man United in that Carabao Cup final, but what if Man U get the final of the FA Cup? It's going to create a headache. So I see that's why they split it up between the two. And the League Cup's down to the EFL, so they decide when they want it, not the FA. Ian says, apart from that, Paul Gallant, very good evening, Tony and everyone. Very good evening to you, Paul. I hope you're very well, mate. And thank you for the shout out as usual on Twitter, mate. Much appreciated. Trolls, would love to see some Scottish nature, to be honest. Plenty of it, Trolls. Yeah, I tell you what, the Highlands is beautiful. I highly recommend the Highlands. You know, one of the best places I've gone to. I mean, I went up there with a car and caravan, and I'll tell you what, brilliant. Although the only thing I do recommend is make sure you fill up with fuel and don't skimp like I did. Because when I went to the Highlands many years ago, about 15, probably longer than that, about 16 years ago, turned off the A9 at Dalwhinnie, and I knew petrol had about a quarter of a tank. I had a Fiat Tipo at the time. I had about a quarter of a tank towing the caravan. And I thought, I'm not, or just under a quarter of a tank. I thought, I'm not filling up yet. It's expensive. No chance. Got 2 mile past the garage and bleep, the light came on. And I thought, oh no. So looking through maps, trying to find where the nearest town was, and we come to one, nothing there. Wasn't until I got to where we were going. Thankfully, the car lasted that long, and they were cashing up in the garage, and they said, we can't because we're cashing up unless you got the right money. I was sticking 20 quid in, there's 20 quid. All right, okay, then you can have it. And it was like, phew. But yeah, how we made it, I do not know. I must have been running on fumes, but yeah. So as I say, don't do what I've done. Think, because it's expensive, you want to wait till you get to the next town, because it's a hell of a long way. But the Highlands, highly recommend it. Beautiful. Fort William, Invergarry, Inverness, Aviemore, brilliant. Welsh Pool, all great up there. Hi, Paul says Sefton. Max says, I watch it on the telly. Oh, good lad, mate, good lad. Paul says, Tony, give you a shout on TikTok this morning. Thank you very much, Paul. Much appreciated, pal. 14 likes so far, Tony. Thanks very much, Paul. Yeah, please smash those likes, guys. Thank you very much indeed. Troll says it's the same for all when it comes to the cup final, though. Yeah, exactly. It's just how you deal with it, and we've got to learn to deal with it now. That's the thing. Troll says, can't afford to go at this time, but someday I hope. Yeah, get yourself there, Trolls, because honestly, you will not regret it, mate. You will not regret it. There's a lot of nice places in Scotland. And I'll tell you what, go on a whiskey tour. Highly recommend a whiskey tour. Definitely. You know, I've been on a few. And they say, get a wee dram of whiskey. It's not a wee dram, that's for sure, mate. It's, it's more than a wee dram. Sefton says, we appreciate you, Paul, helping the channels like this one grow. Well done for everything you do. Well said, Sefton. Well said, mate. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, so it looks like Ryan Fraser is now frozen out the first team squad altogether. He's now training with the under-23s. And, well, if the lad doesn't want to be here, then, do you know what? Get rid in the summer. Get rid. We don't need it. But yeah, get rid of him. I mean, he was on about Loris Karius as goalkeeper, and he said yes, he done okay last weekend, and he's a great lad to have around the place. Because he was asked would he renew his contract, but nothing more's been said on that. So again, I would say definitely in the summer. I would say, let's move to Bravka on. He's 34. He desperately wants to play first team football. I would say if we get 2 or 3 million, 5 million for Dubravka, get rid. Darlow, I think, will be gone as well in the summer, if I'm all honesty. So I'll give Karius a contract and make him number 2. What do you guys think? Because I certainly think that. Now, one thing that has developed today is that Roberto Firmino of Liverpool has told Jurgen Klopp that he will not be staying beyond the season. He has not signed any new deal. He will be leaving as a free agent at the end of the season. Now, that's probably comes as a shock to a lot of people. Now, here's the thing. And I'll try, and I would like to get everybody's comments on this and get everybody's opinions on this. Would you bring Roberto Firmino to Newcastle in the summer on a free transfer? Straight away, I say yes, bring him in. I would have him with a heartbeat, because he's had strength to on the bench straight away. So you've got that extra strength on the bench that you need. So straight away, I would say yes, I would take him on a free. It's a low risk. It depends what his wage demands are, though. That's the only thing. So it depends what he demands. But I would take Firmino at the drop of a hat, without a doubt. I wouldn't hesitate, put it that way, for Firmino. So, I mean, guys, what's your take on it? Roberto Firmino. Would you take him, or would you say no to him? If you say you don't want him, then I would like to know what reason, because he could do a job, that's for sure, and it certainly would be an interesting one, that's for sure. So yeah, just get your comments in and let us know what you think about Firmino, and what he could bring to us as well as a club. I mean, he could bring a lot to Newcastle. So and it's another Brazilian, isn't it? So yeah, let's know your thoughts. Because to be fair, I think it would be an astute signing, to be honest, and I think it could be a good move to bring this guy into the club. But yeah, definitely get your thoughts in on Firmino, that's for sure. And it wouldn't. And the thing is, if we're getting rid of the likes of Ryan Fraser and some at Dubravka, Darlow, that puts a huge drop in the wage bill, which means you don't pay a fee for him, and it helps on FFP. So, again, it all works in our favour. And he's quality. He's still quality. So I would definitely say yes to Roberto Firmino. That's for sure. So like I say, what do you guys make and of this one? So I'm going to get into the comments now, because they're flying in now, so everybody will be tuning in for this. So, right. Oh, sorry. Troll says, sell Dubs for a can of Coke. Get that traitor out of here. Yeah, well, I see what you mean. Yeah. Ian says, have you done St Mary's Loch, Tony? Beautiful place. I don't think I've done St Mary's Loch. No, I haven't. No, but I've definitely been to Fort William, Loch Ness. What's the other place called? Trying to think now. It's a very touristy place up that way, but I'm trying to think what it is. Can't think, but I'll come back to it and I'll remember. I don't drink, but lots of history though. Yeah, there is lots of history. Done Fort William and Loch Ness as a kid, says Paul. Yeah. Sefton says, night all. How are the lads tomorrow? Put my alarm on. Take care. Yeah, you too, mate. Paul says, hi Tony, take a step back from YouTube as 2 businesses launching this month. I'll still post videos, but business come first. No, absolutely, mate. And good luck on your business ventures, Paul. Carrier Defo new deal, says Lee. Absolutely, I say that. Rowley says, hi Tony, I'd give Carrier the contract, was number 3. Number 3, Rowley? Nah, I don't think so, mate. And number 2, he's got to be. Come on, Rowley. You can do better than that. Mag says, hell yeah, that's about Roberto Firmino, definitely. Lee says, yeah, bring him in, definitely. Ian says, on a free? Yes, a no-brainer, absolutely. Billy says, give us a spanner, bud. Yeah, what you'll have to do, Billy, when the show finishes, you'll have to send us a comment after the show, after the stream ends, and then I'll add you as a mod, mate. No problem whatsoever. And hope you're well anyway, Billy. Troll says I'd have Giroud if he still knows where the goal is and can help Isak and Wilson find it again. Do you know what it is? I mean, yeah, he's 36, but he was still banging them in the World Cup, wasn't he? Span Billy up, Tony. Rolly says Fabinho is a no for me. Wages would be too high. Too old for our current recruitment plan. I'm not sure where he would sit on the bench. Fabinho, it's Roberto Firmino. I think you've gone to the opposite one. I mean, we definitely don't want Fabinho, but Firmino, yes, he's 31, so he's 32 this year, but he's still got a lot. He's still got a lot to give, and from the bench, I think he'd be tremendous. I mean, yeah, this season he's got 11 starts out of 17 games. He scored 7 and 3 assists, which is still not a bad ratio, to be fair. If we go back last year and look at these figures, the 21-22 season, 10 games out of 20 he started, and he's got 5 goals and 4 assists. So, to be fair, he's not a bad player to have on the bench. And if you've got someone like Firmino on the bench to bring straight off and bring on and need a goal, then, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Sorry, Rolly, I don't agree with you on that one, but I'll take him. But that's what it's all about, Rolly. It's all about opinions, and that's why we love this. That's why we love doing this. But he says for the men, Roy. He says Firmino even. Yeah, we knew what you meant, Billy. Hi, Rolly. Paul says, hi, Billy T. Give Paul a shout on TikTok this morning. He could be our goal poacher. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at when he came on against us back in August. And he scored against us in August, didn't he? So, he's got it in his locker. But he says, thanks, Paul. Alan says, if leaving Liverpool, why would he come here? Well, you don't know. He might want to come for the project, Alan. That's the thing. He might see something and think, do you know what? The football they play there could be right up my street. So it could be that. You don't know. I mean, we don't know if we're in for him or not, Alan, but I'm just saying if there was a chance of us getting him, that's my question. Would anybody have Firmino? And the answer from me is, I would say definitely yes. Oh, Billy says, okay, mate. We need experienced players, just not 21-year-olds. That's the thing, trolls. We'll get them in. The thing is, let's see what happens in the summer, but I'm sure we will spend in the summer, that's for sure. Rolly says, Karius, I'd want number 2 to push up. I meant Firmino, but I don't think he will want to sit on the bench. Yeah, but where else is he going to go that he's going to be a first-team starter, Roberto Firmino? I don't think there's going to be many clubs where he's going to go to and be the first-team regular. He's going to be a bench player, so, but he might have more chance of playing for us than he has anywhere else. Mason's on. Hi, Mason. I hope you're well, mate. He says, we've basically lost Wood now, so why not go for Firmino? I think he's still got a few years in him. He's good pals with Bruno and Joe Linton. Definitely, Mason. Absolutely 100%. I agree with that. I mean, yeah, why not? He could still do a job. Tanchi's in. He says, no to Firmino for me. We don't want any Deadwood. We are trying to get rid of the Deadwood already here. We're not Sam Allardyce and Bolton Wanderers. Yeah, but I think Firmino's a different player. I think Klopp wanted to keep him at Liverpool, but he didn't want to stay. He just wanted to move on to somewhere else. And can't blame the lad, to be fair. We'd need to improve our first 11, so those who are there now is our subs, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, Chris Wood is basically a Forest player. He will be come the summer. £19 million. So technically we've only paid £6 million for Chris Wood. That's 100 grand a week off the wage bill. If Fraser goes out the door, there's another 80 grand a week off the wage bill. So that's 180 grand a week. Then you've got Darlow. I think he's on about 40 grand a week. 30 or 40 grand a week. So say 40 grand. So there's another, what? That's 220,000. That's 220 a week off the wage bill. 220,000. Then say Dubs, say if he's on about 40 grand, that's £260,000 a week off the wage bill straight away, wiped. So yeah, no brainer. And not all by the way, but that would be expensive and possible. Fair enough. But yeah, I mean the thing is, we shall see what happens with the Roberto Firmino thing. But again, it's one of them. And Alan says it's just probably because he's looking for Champions League football. Yeah, I get that. You might be, Alan, but there again, see, we don't end up finishing the top four. That's the thing. But apparently he will be announcing a new club in a couple of weeks or something. So I don't know. We watch your space. Tanji says, why go for Firmino when he's had one good game and 9-0 against Portsmouth? Bournemouth, we need to free up wages for better players out there, not him. That's the thing, Tanji. It depends what wage he comes on as well. But, you know, again, we wait and see. And, you know, it's just one of them. But this is what I'm saying. This is what's great about football, because we can have these debates, these opinions, you know, and everybody's different to each other, which is brilliant, because if we were all the same, it would be a boring world. So it's great to have these opinions. And, yeah. Totally agree. I mean, the chances of us getting them are probably zilch. You might want to go back to Germany. Who knows? I mean, you know. But at the end of the day, it's great to have the debate, isn't it? So we look ahead to tomorrow's game against Manchester City, and so Eddie versus Pep. Now, Pep Guardiola was asked today about Newcastle United and about them having the best defence. And he said, yeah, Newcastle's got a great defence. He says they're a tough team. He says, you know, they played well against Liverpool, even though they had 10 men. He says they were great against Man United last week. He says, so to me, this is not an easy game. He says, this is one of my toughest games of the season. He says, we already found that out at St James's Park. So he said, yeah, so tomorrow will be another tough game. And he praised Eddie Howe, saying Eddie Howe's done a very good job at Newcastle. He says, look where they were last year, look where they are now. He says, and they deserve to be in the top part of the Premier League. Now, he's come out and said that. Now the thing is, now that he's come out and said that, I wonder if the rest of that big six are going to come out and have a go at him now, because he said that about us, saying we deserve to be where we are. Now, the likes of your Spurs, your Man Uniteds, your Liverpools, your Arsenals, they won't like that. Not at all. Tanji says, Tierney at Arsenal, why buy him? Hardly plays. That's another one. I mean, he's a cracking left back, but he can't stay fit. That's the problem. And we don't want players who are injury prone. You want players who can play nearly every game of the season or not long out in the season. But we don't want players who are constantly on the sick list. All these links are BS, in my opinion. Well, we haven't been linked to Firmino. It was just announced today that he was leaving Liverpool. And I just put that out there is, would you take him? I even put a poll on Twitter. Would you take him? You know, and I mean, I'll have a look and see what my poll results are on Twitter at the moment. It's a 24-hour. It's a 24-hour thing, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what. I mean, at the moment, 70% of people are saying yes, they would take Firmino, and 30% are saying no to Firmino. So, again, it's, yeah. Absolutely fantastic. That the polls at the moment, it's 70-30 in favour of having him. Troll says, I meant DCL and Tierney. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, right. Do not want Dominic Calvert-Lewin anywhere near this football club. We want to be winning Premier Leagues, FA Cups, League Cups, Champions League. You will not do it with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's another Callum Wilson. He gets injured far too much and far too easily. And that's not me being harsh on Callum Wilson. That's me being realistic. Now, Calvert-Lewin can stay at Everton as far as I'm concerned, but he is not a top of the table Premier League. If he was that great of a player, then I'm sure he would be playing for the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Tottenham, the likes of Chelsea. But the fact he isn't tells you all you need to know about Calvert-Lewin. And 46 goals in 176 games really isn't prolific, is it, whatsoever? Let's be honest. Now, Lee says he would bring Neves. He's class. Yes, Ruben Neves. I mean, this guy, yeah. In the summer, he's got 12 months left of his contract. So, you know, it's going to be the time that Wolves might want to cash in on him in the summer. So let's just see. I mean, how much would you pay for him in the summer? 40, 50 million maybe? You'll have 12 months left. But again, he's Premier League experienced, knows the Premier League. He can score a great goal. We've seen what he's like. We've seen the goal he scored against us. For me, that would be a no-brainer signing, because then you've got your CDM there as well. So, yeah, for me, Ruben Neves would be a cracking signing. So I'm totally with you on that one, Lee. Bigger chance of Marcus Thuram coming in and DCL. Yeah, I mean, again, Trolls, Marcus Thuram, he's another one. I mean, he's going to be on a free in the summer. And he would be perfect. Another one that would be a low risk signing, because obviously he hasn't got you won't have a contract, so you don't have a transfer fee to pay out as such, more just a signing on fee. But he's 25, he's 26 in August, and this season he started 19 out of 21 games. He scored 11 goals and assisted 3. So that's not a bad ratio. Again, he knows where the back of the net is. In my eyes, yeah, no-brainer. Who knows? We could be talking to his agents right now. Nobody knows. That's the thing. So, yeah, again, that's another great shout, Trolls. Tanji says, DCL had one good season, just a flash in the pan. Yes, he is, absolutely, Tanji. He's a load of crap. I wouldn't have him. Simple as. Billy says, shite that Bruno and J7 missed the Brazil squad, especially when Wolves midfielder in there, plus Royal and Lodi are in at the back. Yeah, I saw that, Billy. I couldn't believe that, to be fair, mate. I thought, Jesus, what the hell is going on here? I mean, they've got a new manager now, because Titty had gone, hasn't he? And I just don't know what their thought is. I mean, that player Wolves have got, yes, he's going to be a great midfielder, but at the minute, he's not that great, is he? He's not, international class. And when you see the likes of Renan Lodi in there, who hasn't had the greatest season, and Chicken Royale, who plays for Tottenham, that's why I call him Chicken Royale. Yeah, I just wonder. But the saying, there is rumours going around that the Brazilian fans are really pissed off that Joe Linton has not even made that squad. So that just shows you how much Joe Linton's improved as a player, and how much the Brazilian fans want him in that team. So, yeah. So there might be mutiny on your bounty there. Mason says, Thuram and Kone wanted by PSG. It all depends, though. Depends where Thuram wants to go. He might not want to go back to France, so Mason, he might want to play in Italy, or he might want to play in the Premier League. Troll says it all depends where we are at the end of the season, who comes in. Yeah, absolutely, Trolls. Tanji says the only player I'll go for in the Premier League is Maddison. I'd rather have players outside the Premier League who have something to prove. Again, yeah, I mean, Maddison isn't a bad shout. I mean, I would take Maddison. I would have Maddison at a heartbeat. Again, 12 months on his contract at the end of the season. You know, this is Leicester's last chance to cash in on him, because if they don't cash on him now, then, you know, as far as they're concerned, that's it. They're gonna lose out. So yeah, Leicester may have to sell him in the summer. Ian says everyone is linking us to Tierney. I would take him if he stays injury free. Yeah, if he stayed injury free, then yeah, that would be okay. But that's the thing. I don't think he can, though, can he? Alan says priority has to be someone near Bruno's level, as we are rubbish when he's not in the team. To keep progressing, it's needed. Yeah, we definitely need another Bruno, don't we? That's for sure. We need some more players to that level, Alan. And let's hope we do get them. They say it's nice to seeing Joe Linton's goal of the month. Yeah, definitely, mate. Absolutely well deserved as well. Tanji says one of that player Leighton, that's young Ferguson at Brighton. Yeah, I tell you what, he's on fire at the moment, isn't he? And that lad, I mean, he's only 18. He's going to get better and better, isn't he? You know, Evan Ferguson. And apparently we are showing a link with him at the moment. So I'm, you know, it's one of them, isn't it? It's, yeah. But we are linked with him. Chelsea are linked with him. Tottenham are linked with him. But I can't see Brighton selling him, to be fair. And this lad's going to get better and better the more he plays in the Premier League. And by the way, Brighton, staying on Brighton, Moises Caicedo's apparently now signed a new deal until 2027. So he must have gotten a pay rise, because he was only on 10 grand a week. Troll says all English players are overpriced. In my opinion, go Europe. They're always overpriced. The thing is, if Lord Prowse become available, he'd be about 80 million quid, 60, 70 million quid. It's just absolutely scandalous the way they charge for players. I bet if you work it out, Callum Wilson spent more time on the sick bench than on the pitch. Tony says, Gary, do you know what, Gary? I think you're probably right, mate. Yeah. And Foxy, hi, mate. He says, think the Brazil squad is right, to be honest. Bruno's had an injury issues and missed a whole month. Joe Linton deserves a cap at some point, but not ahead of Vega, Andre. Brazil have too much. Yeah, I mean, Foxy knows he's a South American expert as Foxy, and yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that one, Foxy. But again, it's a one we watch with anticipation. So, yeah. I mean, looking ahead to the game tomorrow, it's going to be a tough game at Man City, as it always is. It's always a tough game at Man City. But again, we go down there. Let's hope we go for a point. If we pick up a point, I'll be happy with a point tomorrow. So if we get a point tomorrow against Man City, I'll be absolutely happy with that, 100%. I mean, what's your thoughts on scores tomorrow? Do you know what I'm going to go for? I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw, because I can see a 2-2 draw tomorrow. I mean, we had a 3-3 draw at St James's Park. Why not? Let's go for a 2-2 draw tomorrow. You know, a draw isn't bad. It isn't bad at all. Officials for tomorrow, by the way. Okay, so we got Simon Hooper, who is from Swindon. And his stats this year is 19 games, 59 yellow cards issued, and no red cards. So that's Simon Hooper. And Assistant referees are Adrian Holmes and Simon Long. Fourth officials, Anthony Taylor. VAR is Michael Salisbury. You all know Michael Salisbury. And assistant VAR is Dan Robathan. So that is your lineup tomorrow for the referees and the officials. Right, let's get into some comments. Lee says Gordon and Maxi with Isak up front. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that would be a great team. David says I missed you out the door. No, not quite, mate. Not quite. It's delivery. Troll says, Lee, that would scare most defences, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely. Would do. Definitely. Alan says, don't think it would be enjoyable as being a Brighton fan. Everyone is always linked to or buying their players. Yeah, definitely, Alan. But again, I don't think Evan Ferguson's going to leave anytime soon. I think he's got a lot to prove. But I tell you what, that lad looks good, doesn't he? 18-year-old, he's going to go places, that lad. And remember, Evan Ferguson was a Dan Ashworth signing. Lee Kelly says 2-1 win. Maxi and Isak to score a few minutes before 12 time. Do you know what, Lee? I like that. I would love that to happen. Honestly, I would. Tanji says, I hope we could start scoring goals again. Yeah, do you know what it is, Tanji? I totally agree. I mean, it's the goal scoring's just been... I mean, I think, is it since we've played Leicester... Well, since we come back from the World Cup, I think we've scored 6 goals in the Premier League. Not really good enough, is it? So we need to start scoring. And when you think Callum Wilson, since the World Cup, has scored 1 goal and 1 assist in 3 months. Is that good enough? Not really. So I'm sorry, Wilson needs a rest tomorrow. But I'm going to go on to what I think my team will be tomorrow, team selection. And Troll says... Are we heading into Dreamland? I can hear bells. Yeah, I wish, mate, I wish. But yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I'm going to put up what I think's the team tomorrow. And I would also like everybody in the chat to participate. So, you know, if you want to pop your lineup in there as well and see if we come to any sort of match on the lineup. So I'm going with Nick Pope in goal tomorrow, followed by Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman. So that'll be the back 5, as we call it. Oh, sorry, and Dan Burn. That'll be the back 5. Because that's, as much as I'd probably like to swap Burn for Target, I think it's too soon for Target to come back. Then there'll be Bruno, because obviously he's fit. Joe Linton. Now, there is a question mark whether this guy's fit or not. But there again, Eddie says there's no extra injuries. So I expect him to be fit. So I'm going to say Sean Longstaff will complete the midfield 3. And then up front. Now, this may cause a bit of controversy here. But what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say Gordon. He comes in for Miggy Almiron. He goes and sits on the bench, Almiron. And also, I think you've then got these two, ESM and Isak. So that will be the lineup I'll go for. So it'll be Pope, Trippier, Schär, Botman, Burn, Bruno, Joe Linton, Longstaff, Gordon, Isak, and St. Maximum. Because remember, the last time St. Maximum caused a lot of problems to Kel Walker, and Kel Walker had a hell of a day that day. So I think Wilson has to have a rest on the bench. I think putting Almiron on the bench would be a good move, just to give him a little bit of a rest and maybe bring him on in the second half. I mean, do you agree with me? Give Almiron a rest? He is our top scorer with 10 goals, but maybe he's just being found out a little bit, and I think just giving them a rest might just freshen things up. I think we need to do a bit of a refresh. I would love to put Target in, but I think it's a bit too soon to be playing Target from the start. Lee says, Gordon and Maxi with Isak up front. Yeah, definitely. I read that one. Sorry, guys. That would scare most defences, mate. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you think Anthony Gordon's the second fastest player in the Premier League, behind Mudryk. And says, don't think it'd be enjoyable being a Brighton fan. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, I read that one. Sorry, guys. Joe says, are we into dreamland like in yeah, bells? No. I can predict a defeat whenever the two and go for it. I'll go for a 1-1. Yeah, definitely. That's not a bad shout either, Rallin. Troll says, hey, fingers crossed. Tanji says, we haven't scored more than one goal in the league since Leicester on Boxing Day. Yeah, that's the worrying stat, isn't it? I mean, it's just, I think the cup finals took over a lot of things, the cup run. David says, everyone will be the same, but I think Isak starts ahead of Wilson. Yeah, he's got to, David, hasn't he? But I was just thinking, maybe do we not just give Almiron that little rest and just give him a break, you know, and let him get refreshed and recharging his batteries. Troll says, Pope's, Tripp, Share, Botman, Target, Bruno, Big Joe, Longstaff, ESM, Isak and Gordon. Again, I think it's too soon to bring Target in, no, because he's not long come back from this injury. So I think Target's more of a just, you need to bring him on and give him minutes to get his match fitness built up. But I think starting Target, I don't think will be the right answer, to be fair. As much as probably Burn needs a rest, but I still think you'll go with Burn. Toon TV, hi to you, mate. Hope you're well. He says, totally agree, mate. Gordon needs minutes. I'm excited to see what he might do. Yeah, I am as well, mate. Definitely. I mean, it'll be absolutely fascinating, won't it? Lee says, agree with that line up, Tony. Yeah, thanks very much, mate. Yeah. Isak got the start for me. What about Ashby, defender? Again, Alan, I think he's still getting back to some sort of fitness. I don't think he's fully match fit, so I think Eddie's just keeping them back. But let's hope he brings them in, and we'll see Ashby have some sort of, he plays some sort of part of the rest of the season, because I think he looks exciting, doesn't he? Ian says, hi, Jack, to Jack from Toon TV. Stato from the Toon Review says we will 5-1 tomorrow, and Paul's reply was, give me some of whatever you've been smoking. Do you know what it is? Oh, God, Gary, honestly. Alex, if you're in the chat, mate, come in, tell me, where have you getting this 5-1 from, Alex, please? Because, honestly, I'm with Paul. Whatever you're smoking, mate, send some my way. Please, Alex, come on. I love it. Jody says, evening to you, Jody. I hope you're very well, mate. And Jody says, here we go. Pope, Trippier, Botman, Share, Burn, Bruno, Longstaff, Willick, Almiron, ESM and Isak. Straight. Yeah, interesting, Jody. Would you not start Gordon ahead of Almiron, Jody? We don't make you hallucinate. Don't make you hallucinate, Tony. Yeah. Do you know what, guys? I've never touched the stuff. Wouldn't touch the stuff. To be honest with you, I really don't get the concept of people smoking funny stuff like that or taking it. I'd rather have a good drink and get absolutely rat-faced, and then, at least then you know you've had a good night then. But I don't know. I don't see what the thing is with drugs. And by the way, guys and girls, because this is out on YouTube, by the way, we're not condoning any use of drugs whatsoever. So yeah, let's get that straight. We are not condoning any use of drugs. It's more of a joke about whatever he's smoking. I'll have a bucket full. Paul says, evening, Tony. Evening to you, Paul. Hope you're well, mate. Lee says, Grealish might wind up Mickey if he's on the start. He might start scoring again. Do you know what it is? I think, yeah. I think Grealish needs to be told, play more like Almiron. That's what he needs to be told. Jody says, I think Eddie will stick with Almiron over Gordon. Yeah, again, you could be right. Troll says, I'm off to watch TTR Friday. Take care, Tony. Yeah, take care, mate, and say hi to the guys over there for me, Trolls. Thank you very much. And yeah, great guys over there, Paul, Danielle, Billy, and Alex. Well, I'm gonna go on their chat soon. I'm gonna say 5-1, Alex. What are you smoking, mate? Lee says, Paul says Lee, he will score past us, bloody typical. Who Grealish? Yeah, he probably would do. To be fair, Paul. Alan says, just get sick of saying what have you been smoking. People saying what you've been smoking. Drink does you more harm. Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, I don't need a drink or anything to be happy. I'm always happy. Jody says, in my opinion, it's hard to see past the City win. I think they'll win 2-0, so I'd happily take a draw tomorrow. Yeah. And because I'm one of these people who's always happy in that, I think, I can't remember what it was, but it was a while back now. Somebody accused me of being on drugs, and I'm like, hang on a minute. No. I think it was when we won in the Carabao Cup. I think it was against Leicester and we got the semi-finals. And it was a semi-final draw and somebody accused me on there. It wasn't one of our regulars. I think it was somebody who was just obviously tuned in and, and I'm like, no, not on drugs. Well, I am on drugs. The only drug I'm on is Newcastle United. That's my drug. Ian says, later, Trolls. I'm even more happy when the tune wins, says Jody. Absolutely. This is our drug, Newcastle United. That's our drug. Paul says, I'd be disappointed if we lose tomorrow. Like, no one likes losing. Won't be too bad, though, as I'm not expecting anything of their gaff. I see what you're saying, Paul, but we don't do free hits no more. That's the thing now. We don't do free hits. So it is what it is tomorrow. And let's see what performance we do tomorrow. Foxy says, 4-0 City win tomorrow. We'll get back on track. Home versus Wolves. Oh, Foxy, don't say a 4-0 win, please, to City. God, no. I don't think we'll get absolutely hammered, to be fair. Lee says, Newcastle Brown Ale. Yeah, problem is it's not Newcastle Brown anymore, though, is it? Because it's made in Tadcaster, which is West Yorkshire, so it's not the same as it used to be. Years ago, though, Newcastle Brown Ale used to be really, really strong, especially when it was brewed up here in the northeast. It used to be really strong. They used to call it, I don't know if they still call it that now, but they used to call it Madman's Drink, because apparently when you got drunk, you used to be, you used to go on the, used to be mad. So yeah, that's what they used to call it, Madman's Drink. I don't know if they still call it that now, but they used to. Jody says, I think we'll get back to winning ways against Wolves next week. Yeah, I really hope so, Jody. We need to. We've got to start it. Arsenal for life. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. He says, please don't let City win tomorrow. We'll try our best, Arsenal. We will try our best, mate. I can't promise you, but we will certainly try our best, and we'll hopefully stop City winning something anyway, which would be absolutely fantastic. And Paul says, Howe said today that the final played a part in the drop in form. We all knew it. Yeah, well, Paul, what have I said for the past few weeks? The cup final's been on their minds. If you go back in any videos, you'll find it. That's what I've always said. The cup final's been too much on their minds, and that's why, in some ways, I was like, I can't wait for the cup final to be done and dusted and out the way, so we can get back to what we were doing best in the Premier League, and that's winning games. Bottle of Dog says, Mag, yeah. Lee says, also Newcastle Exhibition, better that. Yeah, Newcastle Exhibition. Gosh, that's old now, isn't it? God, yeah. And you used to have McEwen's Best Scotch as well. McEwen's Lager. But yeah, it's been all sorts, hasn't it? It's not the same now. The brewery's not there. Got it fed. Jody says, Brentford went to the empty, hadn't got all 3 points not so long ago, so we stand a chance. If we can get our performance levels back up the way we were prior to the cup, then Yeah, absolutely, Jody. Paul says he also seems happy with ESM and what he did against City last time. He has to be starting yeah, definitely without a shadow of a doubt, he's got to be starting ESM. Yeah, because look what ESM did against Kel Walker. Ripped him a new arsehole, didn't he, basically? Ian says, need to go. See you later, Tony. Yeah, cheers, Ian. Thanks very much, mate, and I'll see you later. Foxy says, City will have a lot of possession, too much pressure for our defence with Isak unable to hold up the ball. Never like to say it, but confidence will be low at the moment. Pray Bruno can create a moment of magic. That's a thing, Foxy, who knows? But we will wait at 12:30 tomorrow when it kicks off. Jody says, Guardiola hated ESM when we played them at St James's Park. Yeah, I think Kel Walker did as well. I think Kel Walker went home and had bad dreams, had nightmares because that's what ESM did to him. Lee says, must be letting my age out now, Tony. Hey, not the only one, mate. Don't worry. Hey, you're as young as you feel, mate. That's the thing. But, yeah, absolutely brilliant. But, guys, going to wrap up anyway, because come to the end of the show anyway. But, yeah, but before we go, if you like what you see, then please smash the like. It really does help that channel up the search results, so smash those likes. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe. Free to do so, helps the channel grow. And the bell notification will tell you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. So tomorrow I should be back with the build-up live, hopefully, fingers crossed. And that will be at around about probably 10:30, 11:45, something around there. I had to remember there because it'll be 11:30 when the teams come out. So yeah, so it'll be about 10:30. Oh no, maybe about 11 o'clock, maybe. Yeah, so probably about 11 o'clock, guys. And then there'll be a match reaction as well later on in the day, some point. So yeah, so keep your eyes open for that. Just dip into some comments before we go. Paul says, we've actually played better in front of goal this season when we haven't had the possession. City don't park the bus so we can get it something. That's the thing, yeah, definitely. And that's what we got to look at. At least City will play football, not like some of the teams like Leeds United who park the bus. Great stream, Tony says. Jody, thank you very much, mate. See you later. I bet you're going over to watch Pete Proudlock. Alan says, bye. Bye, Alan. Hope see you again, mate. Be great, Tony. Getting better all the time. Yeah, thanks very much, Lee. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, it's great. I wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for you guys. And the thing is, as I say, this channel started back in October. I was looking after John Sinclair's channel for a week while he was on holiday in Turkey. And everybody was impressed how well I ran his channel. And they were all like, well, why haven't you got your own channel? I wasn't wanting my own channel, but I decided to take the plunge. And you know what? I'm so glad I did it. It's the best thing I've done. So I'm not really on John's much now at all anyway, but I've just got to concentrate on my own channel, unfortunately. And, you know, if I'm doing a show on John's and a show on mine, it's really not really working and it's making me tired at night. So, but yeah, I mean, I still get John coming on here when he hasn't got a show on. And if I haven't got a show, then I'll maybe jump on with John, but I don't go on there as often now. But yeah, so pleased I took the plunge and went for it. And Sefton says, just arrived at work. I'm going for a draw. How are the lads? Night. Yeah, take care, Sefton. Have a great night at work, mate. And yeah, make sure you get your rest in the morning before the match starts. And yeah. So on that note, guys and girls, yeah, it's time for the end of the show. But I will see you later. And whatever you're doing, enjoy the rest of your evening. And let's hope for some points tomorrow. If we don't get 3, at least let's get 1. But let's not get beat. So I'll see you later, guys. Have a great evening. How are the lads? Bye-bye for now. See you on the next show. Bye-bye, guys.